Hi, my name is Caroline Woodson, and this is my presentation on how intimate relationships form the fabric of society. So, on the whole, if we were asked if your relationship is private, you'd probably say yes, because they're called intimate relationships for a reason. However, it is very clear that our relationships affect other people more than we could ever imagine. So, a little example is, let's say it's Tuesday night and these two get into a little spat that turns into a big spat, and there's yelling and fighting and all this stomping. And these people, this lovely little couple lives right underneath them. And so they cannot sleep because they're up all night, this couple fighting, and they've never even met this couple before. The next day, let's say she's a teacher, she gets up early. She's so grumpy because she didn't even sleep. And she's really mean to her super cute little TA with his little mustache. And she discourages him from ever becoming a teacher ever again because she says something so mean to him. And that is just one way the couple who can affect so many people they've never even met before. So, an important term during this section is social control theory, which is a theory that suggests one's relationships will regulate and organize the way a person behaves. So, in this, a good relationship with positive support and encouraging words and equal power will lead to good social interactions with equal power and positive relationships and all that kind of good stuff. And in turn, bad relationships with abuse or power struggles and fighting will lead to poor behavior because that fighting and abuse will be carried over. Often this happens in relationships because people learn to create a common norm. For example, my roommates and I have the common norm of unloading the dishwasher if you see that it is clean and full. And that is something I will always do, which I think is a positive thing. And it's a common norm that I've now created. Another interesting thing is that relationships have actually been, in social control theory, determined to be correlated to breaking the law. So a better relationship will have decreased criminal activity, while a worse relationship has increased criminal activity. And I put this here in the corner. This is the name of the person that coined the term social control theory and the year it was coined. Other examples from the text that have to do with this theory is that divorce has been linked with people not voting in elections. So maybe, for example, you fell in love with the love of your life, but then the relationship ended, and now that was the only future you saw. So what's the point of voting for a future you don't even want to see, which is very depressing, but just what I came up with. Or relationship status has been linked with drug use, which is very interesting, and it just shows how a person's relationship can control their actions. When a relationship ends, the cost to society is very high. A study in Utah in 2006 showed that divorced taxpayers pay around $30,000 in child care, welfare, and food stamps, which is a whole heck of a lot of money. And of course, an abusive relationship should always be terminated regardless of the cost. But it is a huge factor to see how finances and well-being are affected by relationships ending. So that was about everything from the text in this section. So what are some tangible examples? All right, so here, imagine a couple divorces and they have two kids, and they decide that one week this little lion boy, he's super cute, is going to go with dad, and that same week Strawberry Girl is going to go with mom, and next week they'll switch. So they go from being able to do homework together. Oh my gosh, so cute. All being together and working together to being alone. And these kids are basically growing up as only children. So before they had two parents potentially at home to help them with homework and their sibling, and now maybe they'll have no one. And so a potential consequence of this is a teacher will have to stay after and help the kid. And maybe the parent has a more demanding job. So when you're with that parent, you have no help. So this is an example of maybe little Strawberry Girl who's so cute will now be doing her homework all alone. Another example would be, let's say you get into a relationship with someone who is physically active and you have never been. So this person's used to just running on their treadmill all alone. And then all of a sudden you come in and you guys are going running together, and it's a stress relief for you. And now you're being kinder to your coworkers and getting up earlier and you're more productive. But then you start a running group with people you know. And now all these people are being more productive and running and being more physically fit. And that's going to change the whole society because people are going to be more productive and helpful and beneficial. So this is a really, really, really quick overview of how our relationships affect in society as a whole.